What is enlightenment? The dictionary defines it as spiritual insight or knowledge. With that definition, I've realized that there are so many moments in my life that I'm enlightened or have moments of enlightenment and don't even realize it nor appreciate it. And it could be something as simple as sitting on a park bench and watching the trees rustle in the wind. It can be raindrops coming down on the roof. It can be eating a piece of fruit. And I think enlightenment, the path of enlightenment, is like knitting a quilt. Most people, and we've been taught or conditioned to believe that in order to be enlightened, you need to have the whole quilt. And the whole quilt comes all at once. And I think the path of enlightenment is more like knitting and stitching a quilt, one patch at a time, and then taking those accumulated patches and weaving them together, and then you have a quilt. So if you read a lot of spiritual books, or if you look back in history, the role models for enlightenment are these grand masters that are elevated to such a degree that us commoners can never attain. We feel we can never attain enlightenment, so we don't. And beyond that, it's been so manipulated and contrived that the spiritual teachers that are enlightened end up charging lots of money to attend their seminars, to read their books, or to pass on their information of enlightenment. And the greatest joy that I've discovered is that it's all in here. Everything that we need to be enlightened, we already have. Just look at a child. I have a 2-year-old nephew, and to me, he's my greatest teacher. My dog is my greatest teacher. They are enlightened. They live and embody enlightenment without even needing to chase it. So we have that within us, but it's been conditioned out of us. And so the secret is not adding more to ourselves, not attending more seminars, not reading more books, not going and listening to more gurus. The secret is going within, stripping away all that negative programming, all that social conditioning that has bombarded us from a very young age and taught us we're not sufficient, we're not good enough. And what the masters have done, and a lot of people don't even intentionally do it, from parents to teachers to college professors to employers, they all teach us or condition us that they have that golden egg, something that we need, and that we're deficient without that golden egg that they hold in their hands. And so they are able to control us and influence our behavior in order that we are motivated to get that golden egg. And so the way you lure someone to chase a golden egg, and it's not even a real golden egg, is tell them that who they are right now is not good enough. You need this knowledge. You need this job. You need this promotion. You need this house. You need this wife. You need this food. You need this car, clothing. The list can go on and on. The message with all that is you're not good enough as you are. And we've been so bombarded with this message that we don't even question it. It becomes status quo, second nature. Oh yes, you know what? I'm not good enough. I need to go to college. I need to get the right job. I need to get all the things to fill my void. I need to go to organized religion because I'm a sinner, I'm a bad person, and I'm not good enough. And so what the people that in power, the people that want to influence and control our behavior, and parents do this as well. You know, they teach the child that they're not good enough, or that they need to fill the certain requirements of A, B, C before the parents will approve of them, so the child chases all these false goals that are not really true to who they are and to their spirit. So that is just genius way to control and influence and motivate people. Slavery of old days, where you used force, is so archaic. Teach people they're devoid. This is how it is. It's like put people in their own self-made prison, and then lock them in there, and then sell them the key and tell them you got to do XYZ to get the key. And so our whole life is spent that, and spiritual growth is really capitalized on that too. You know, there's all kinds of complicated and complex spiritual practices that one feels they need to do, or that we're led to believe that we need to do in order to reach enlightenment. Go to do this meditation, attend this seminar, attend this church, listen to this guru, read this book, listen to these tapes. And what I'm saying, the secret is you already have that within you. You have enlightenment within you. It's now just stripping away, getting down all that exterior, that false doctrine or belief system that we've been conditioned with, stripping that away and getting down to the core, to the raw essence of who we are spiritually. And that's liberating. So enlightenment, I've had just a great shift on what it means to be enlightened. Enlightenment is like a thunderstorm, and there's little droplets coming down, and we look at the little droplets and say, oh, you know, that's nice. But what's even greater is the ocean or the river or the lake. And then we want the lake, and we want the ocean, and we want the river. And those could be analogies to great teachers or gurus, or what we believe is enlightenment. We look at these massive bodies of water as enlightenment. And then we say, boy, I can never be, you know, this ocean of enlightenment or this lake of enlightenment. No, you can't. But you can be that little droplet right now. You could be that drop right over there. And the accumulation of all these drops, eventually you have a little puddle. And then eventually you have enough to fill a bathtub. And you start streaming and connecting these moments of enlightenment, and they start increasing through your life. And they're not dependent on anyone else. They're all at your fingertips. Just even simple act of focusing on your breath can be a moment of enlightenment. And it's all in here. It's what you believe. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So it's not about we need to become completely different people. We need to change where we live. We need to get out of the relationship. We need to blah, 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 blah. No, it's saying right here and now, you have all the tools you need to be enlightened. And that's freedom. And then you start noticing all these examples of enlightenment, and there's thousands that just pass us by every day. The simplest things that if we just notice and pay attention to, go, oh, wow, that's profound, or that's beautiful. You know, the flower that we walk by every day and that we don't give our attention to. Suddenly we notice it, wow, that's a moment of enlightenment. And it's like running a marathon. Before you know it, you can run 1 mile. 2 months later, you can run maybe 5 miles. 6 months later, you can run 10 miles. And what we want is, especially in Western culture, we want enlightenment right now. We want fast food enlightenment. And that's just not the way it is. And so the good news is you can start right now at the end of this video. Just focus on your breath. Listen to music. Write. Follow what your creative instinct, what you're passionate about. Or one of my favorite exercises is, there's a lot of talk about prayer and that we should, you know, pray and things like that. And another really effective tool is just to listen. And I'm not talking about listening up here, but listening from your heart. And that'll guide us. That's like your treasure chest of enlightenment. Your guru is within you, your inner guru. But we're just not still enough to allow that truth to bubble to the surface. So sitting in the bathtub, taking a hot bath, and just listening. And you really, in the first week or two, it might be difficult, but before you know it, it's that voice within us becomes stronger and stronger. And we get all these profound insights